Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today's topic is going to be on the mindset of consistency. But first, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Carrie DeGrandmont. I live here in Brentwood, California. I've been with LifeVantage since February of 2021. So this is year 3 for me, though I thought it was 5. Feels like 5. I accepted Chrissy's invite to LifeVantage after a year of talking to her because my husband insisted he needed a knee replacement that I didn't want him to get. So fast forward to now, he never did get that knee replacement. And so that's why we got on the product, and why I stayed on the product is because of how it improved the quality of life for our lives, my mother's life, and we've experienced phenomenal results from using it. And it's been wonderful being able to share it with people and getting the feedback on how great it is working for others. And it's been a great little side hustle for me that I'm becoming more interested in growing into something more. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to share some announcements, starting with the hub. The hub has been updated. If you haven't been in there at all, you should be. So if you haven't been in there lately, definitely go in and check it out. It's where you're going to find all the info you need as a new or seasoned consultant, and you'll find digital tutorials and training news and the perks and the coupons for the newbies, social media sharings, compensation plan details, and more. So it's very thorough. It's very user-friendly. So definitely check it out, and we'll share the link in the chat for anyone who needs it. And then also the Rise Era incentive is still cumulative volume for the enrollment portion. It doesn't matter how many customers or consultants, as long as the sales volume is 750 and one of them is a consultant. So if you have questions about this, please reach out and get answers. Also, this month, vitamin D is free for current and new customers ordering $200 or more. I believe I got that right. Last announcement, customer service, make a note of it, because if you need them on Wednesday, April 17th, they're going to be closed for training between 9:30 and 2:30 Mountain Time. Okay, so if you need their awesome assistance, do it before or after that time. And okay, that's it for announcements. We're going to move into our first speaker. And it's my pleasure to introduce Lisa Fitzpatrick. She's a wife and mom of 2 amazing boys. She works full-time and has a passion for health, beauty, and fitness. Her family relocated to Brentwood about a year ago, and she's a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. If they didn't move to Brentwood, she would not have been introduced to LifeVantage and this amazing group and the unbelievable results that she's been experiencing with LifeVantage products. In her spare time, you'll find her hanging out with her family and friends, and they're either racing from baseball or football fields, or relaxing by the pool, or hiking the rivers in Arnold, which sounds amazing. So please join me in welcoming Lisa Fitzpatrick. And it's all yours, Lisa.
Thank you, guys. Apologies in advance. I am actually racing from...
What?
Oh.
What?
Turn the video on.
Oops. Hi, guys.
Oh.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So my apologies in advance. I'm actually racing from work to the baseball field for a baseball game. So talk about multitasking, busy mom, full-time work, and our beautiful side gig that I call a side gig of LifeVantage that hopefully will turn into a larger side gig than what I'm doing right now to help eliminate some of my full-time job. So again, I recently moved to Brentwood, crashed into Chrissy at the gym and started chit-chatting, heard about LifeVantage, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Talk to me later kind of a thing, kept pushing it off. And then I was talking to another gal, and she was telling me how LifeVantage was helping her husband prolong surgery. And I'm like, wow, this kind of sounds familiar to my life. And so I jumped on to LifeVantage mainly for my husband, started getting him some products to help prolong his knee surgery that the doctors wanted to do. And got him on the collagen because that would help as well. And then was selfish and said, wait, I want some collagen. I want to look beautiful and have shiny skin like everybody is talking about, and gave it a test. And that's where I kind of started. I was testing to kind of prove it wrong. And boy, was I surprised. I started seeing results immediately and became addicted. And that's when I said, all right, Chrissy, you proved me wrong. I need to jump on to LifeVantage, because not only do I want to use the products, but I want to shout from the rooftops of how amazing this is and what it's already done for myself and my husband. And it kind of just came on at the right time. I did have a close family member diagnosed with kind of the short end of it, a little bit of pre-Alzheimer's, and jumped that family member on the NRF2, mainly because the swallowing factor he was having issues with. And so I was like, anything and everything I can get into his body, I will. And I'm not kidding you, within a month of barely a month, we saw a huge change in his personality, his speech, his memory. And that's when I looked at Chrissy and said, this came into my life for a reason. And it's to really help a family member go through some tough times right now. So that's my journey and how it started. And I just kind of came on board in January, February of 2024. And I'm just looking.
Darn Highway 4. Oh, she's back.
Oh, sorry, guys.
We heard you're looking for, and then we lost you.
There we go. Thank you. So I'm looking for just the time and the place with people to share my experiences, share success stories, and try to just have people want to join and start taking the products because they actually want to, and see what it can do for them. I'm losing train of thought because somebody just cut me off. I'm sorry, guys. Totally multitasking. But I think organically, just in a daily conversation in the office, hearing people's stories of what they're struggling with, and then if they continue talking about it multiple times, then I kind of do a little side note. Hey, like, do you want to hear some success stories of what can possibly help you? And just being consistent of just being an honest person that listens. And that's what I've been doing kind of on a daily basis, and just seeing the miracles of what LifeVantage has done personally, and within family. It's jaw-dropping, to be honest. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to growing more with the team and learning more day by day. And by the way, that skin product is absolutely amazing, and it's a great starting point for conversation with people.
Thank you. Awesome. And welcome. You're pretty new, so welcome again. I know I told you that at the retreat. And I love how so many of us came in because of our husbands. And here we are. So that's great. Thank you for sharing. Next, I would like to welcome Chrissy Amaral, wife and busy mom of two that keeps her running with their busy travel ball life. She works full-time in corporate America and talent acquisition, and has been a part of LifeVantage for the last 5 years as of this month. So congrats, Chrissy. When she has a minute of spare time, you can catch her at the gym or outside doing anything she can in nature, including walking and hiking and paddleboarding. I think we need to go on a paddleboarding date soon, all of us. She also loves to travel to anywhere with a beach, and her passion has always been to help others in her career. And so LifeVantage has been another gift to help her do just that. So welcome, Chrissy. We all know and love you. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Carrie. And thank you, Lisa, because I know commuting on Highway 4 is brutal. So I appreciate you sharing. And I wanted Lisa to share because she is new in this business is about getting out of your comfort zone. And Lisa has been killing it since she started. She's consistently had customers every single month. She's constantly asking questions, and that's what it's about. So thank you, Lisa, because I know I totally caught you last minute, like, hey, you want to do some of the call tonight? And you said yes, even though you probably wanted to say no. So thank you. So the conversation I wanted to have tonight is one, I feel like there's a lot of topics that will probably sound familiar, but also relevant. And it's really just the mindset of being consistent in this business. So first off, take a deep breath. You're here. I'm still working. I tried to turn my work off so it doesn't beep in my ear and I get distracted, but we did make it. We've made this a priority for the next 30 minutes. And you should feel proud of that because it's a step towards saying yes to our business. And we showed up. So my question is, how are you showing up the rest of the days of the week? How are you feeling showing up? One thing I hear a lot right now is the economy is really tough. It's hard to get business. And I will agree, the economy is tough. It's weird. It's a lot of things, but the social selling industry traditionally has grown during a down economy. So I want you to keep that in mind and think about that. A lot of the time, it's not the economy that's preventing people from buying from us, but it's really how we are shifting our thoughts around the economy and how we're showing up. So talking about mindset and consistency is really important because we know 1,000% without a doubt that showing up is a non-negotiable in this business. And to do this, we have to be consistent because without it, we're going to have a really hard time, plain and simple. Consistency is vital to seeing results in our business and seeing it grow. But I think the reason why consistency is hard sometimes is because we have these thoughts in our heads, like we have these stories. Nobody's listening. It's hard to reach people. No one wants to buy in this economy. I'm just not feeling it today, kind of insert your own story here. But the truth is your business is built on showing up when you don't feel like it most of the time. So I'd probably say like 80% of the time, you're not going to feel like showing up. But if 80% of those times you're not showing up, that means you're only showing up 20% of the time, which means about 2 out of every 10 days, you're going to show up about your business. And that's just not going to generate enough consistency to get results. So when you are showing up for your business, whether it's online or in person or however you do your business, you're building trust, with people that are watching you. And if you think about all the people you watch and learn from or who you buy from, think about how they're showing up. What gets your attention, what holds your attention to follow them or watch them, what offer are they bringing that's of value to you for you to show up for them? So, and then I want you to think about how they show up compared to how you show up, and is it different? So if you see them here and there and randomly, are you still watching them? Maybe, but probably not. Especially with the way the algorithms work, you probably lost them. You're like, oh, I used to watch this one girl and I don't remember what happened to her because she fell off the planet. So if we're doing the same thing, showing up once a week or maybe a few times a month, you're likely losing someone who could potentially be a customer because you just don't feel like showing up. And you've heard it a million times that people buy from people they know, like, and trust, but you can't build trust if you're posting or only talking to people once in a while or a few times a month, or talk to them one time and then never follow back up with them because people then are thinking, oh, well, she might not be doing that thing anymore. But all that aside, I want you to think about you and think of you not showing up as sort of a breach of trust with yourself because, you're the one that signed up for this business to share. And it's likely because you or someone close to you has had a significant change or experience and you felt compelled enough to join the business, to join this mission, right? So I know I hear a lot that it's our moral obligation to share. I feel like it's mine. So every time you're not consistent, think of it as actually breaking that moral obligation to yourself. So you're basically saying, like, what I do and say doesn't matter. What I want doesn't matter. This isn't a priority for me. I just don't feel like it today. And so what those stories are telling you is there's some sort of story you're holding on to. There's a reason you're not putting something into action. And most of the time it's thoughts like, the thoughts that I said, people aren't interested, they're not listening, it's too expensive, I've talked to everyone. I will definitely call out a not possible chance ever. There's millions of people in this world. It's probably more likely like you've reached out to the people you're comfortable reaching out to. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're thinking, I don't talk about the business because I don't believe I'm good enough. I can't lead. I haven't personally found success yet. So I feel like an imposter syndrome is real. But what you're doing and reinforcing all these stories is you're giving yourself permission to give up. So I am curious because I'm sure we've all had these default stories. I want you to take a second and just put in the comments some of the stories that you tell yourself or the reasons you feel you may not be showing up, because I'm willing to bet a lot of them are the same that you have amongst yourselves. Another example, just to kind of expand on this, is say you're in a weight loss journey and you're reaching for a handful of snacks and you tell yourself like, a little won't hurt, a little won't hurt. And you do this over and over again, and a little starts to become a lot. And then you tell yourself, it's okay, I'll start tomorrow. But then tomorrow you go through the same things, the same thoughts and actions. You're losing trust with yourself over and over because, again, you said you wanted this, but you aren't fully following through. And then likely you're beating yourself up about it and you're still staying in the same place. So I think it's really important to be aware of your stories and to really own them, but also understand it is a story that can be changed. And another one I hear a lot of is, I don't really know what to post, or I'm not creative. This is just another reflection of your mindset. And what you're probably thinking is like, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to look like I'm desperate. And, how free do you feel to post anything when you're in that frame of mind? So I'm just as guilty about this thing, is getting hung up on the right things or the right words to say. So I want everybody to just start thinking more like quantity over quality. I promise you consistency trumps quality. So if you are posting out there and you have a typo, it's okay. You're human. If someone wants to call it out, perfect. There's someone to talk to. It's literally happened to me. I am generally more concerned with like posting B- work that's done instead of A- work that I've spent way too much time on debating over. And then I feel a certain way if I don't get much of a response. And then you start to build a story, right? So like if you just wake up and have a nudge to share a picture of you drinking your Axio, I think I did it recently. And we all wake up looking a kind of way, hair messy, all the things. Don't even think twice about it. Like take a picture, snap it, post it. People are going to relate to that. And the more that it's you, the better, I feel like. So if you're spending too much time over analyzing, over criticizing yourself, it's because your brain is trying to protect you. It's our brain's job. Everybody knows about the neuroscience of our brain, and its job is to keep us safe. And we know that staying safe is not going to be for our business, because it's not going to bring us business. So you sharing and posting and talking to people, that's showing you're open for business. And truly, it should not take you longer than 10 minutes to post a few stories or make a post. We have so many pictures in our groups and our app and on social media. I'm sure if you type in NRF2, like in Facebook or Instagram, you can find pictures, screenshot them and save. So something I do is I take 20 to 30 minutes once a week, give or take. Think about what I want to post for that week, so figure out a topic and I'll create an album on my phone and I'll put those pictures in there. And then I'll have those pictures in there. And in a few months, I'm going to repost them. It's a rinse and repeat often, because this business is really about repetition. Another idea, if you're not sure what to post, look at the coming months health focus. So I looked at May just to see what, health observances are in May. It's arthritis awareness, it's better sleep, mental health, national walking, and it was women's health, I think. So that's a topic you could focus on each week to grab a picture, create some content, and not just posting stock pictures because nobody wants to follow billboards. Again, they're trying to learn about you. So talk about what you're sharing about, educate, give benefits while staying compliant, but show your face. People want to get to know you. People are going to buy from the people they know. They want to support the people they know, who they can relate to, share parts of your life. It doesn't have to be every little detail. Some things are definitely meant to be private, but I think sharing a struggle once in a while isn't a bad thing. People can relate to those struggles and they might find comfort in you sharing yours. So I always suggest finding 4 to 5 things that make you you and share. So share about your kids, your animals, your fitness, your hobbies, your makeup, whatever lights you up. and share those things consistently. And then post about your business or your product every fourth or fifth post with some sort of call to action to generate some kind of activity and response. If that works, hopefully that's the goal, right? Another thing is it's a big world out there. So we want to really figure out and narrow in on who we want to help, like who we're speaking to. And I always think a good way to figure out who you want to talk to is who you were when you started this journey. That's probably who your audience is going to be, who you can relate with, who can cater to. So like, for example, myself, I was burning the midnight oil, working my butt off in my job with 2 young boys at the time, caused a lot of issues in my body, and these products changed for me. So those are the people that I want to help, the people that I feel like I would best relate to be able to help them. And then the biggest story of all is the time. I don't have enough time. I hear that all the time. And I promise you, you do have the time. So maybe you're comparing your time in your business to someone else and thinking, well, they have more time and that's why my business isn't as successful as theirs. But we always think more time is the answer because we really live in a hustle culture. And I know we are all busy. I'm not saying we're not busy. That's a thing. But more time doesn't always mean more success. So if you only have 3 to 4 hours a week to work on your business, then that's what it is. So again, time is not the issue, but it's your way of thinking about the time. And it goes back to those stories that we tell ourselves. It's really a default mechanism. Because we haven't seen necessarily maybe the success we want in the time that we have, and we're not where we want to be yet. But I wanted to ask you something honestly, like, are you busy working or are you just being busy thinking about work? That's been me. Like, that's a fair question, I think, to ask, because I've done it myself. I constantly will say, I'm going to go, I've gotten better, but I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go on social media for 30 minutes and go communicate and respond and interact. And then 30 minutes later, I am like in the scroll hole of reels. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? So because I really work on time and pressure, I work best under time and pressure. What I do is I'll set 30 minutes up. I set a plan of what I'm going to tackle in those 30 minutes, and I'll set a timer. And you can do that for like an hour, do like a power hour, 30.
Yes, I
do. So that you can get things done. And it doesn't mean that it's going to result in anything immediately. Maybe it does if you're following up with somebody, but again, you're building trust. You're doing what you say you're going to do. You have a plan. So your brain can't be like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do now? I'm here and I'm frozen. You pretty much have to outrun your thoughts so that those stories don't creep in on why you can't, because it will just always go back to like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. This feels hard because this business is hard and it can be scary. And, our brains want to help us not be scared to do it. And so then we're like, okay, we're good. We don't need to do that. But it's really about knowing that, you want this more than you don't, because if you do, you'll always make time for things that are important to you. I really do believe that. A fun fact is there's a scientific study that proves that you have higher willpower in the morning. So it does decrease during the day. It's lowest by the end of the day. So maybe try setting your alarm 30 minutes earlier and get your work busted out first thing in the morning. Because for those of us like me who work 8 to 5, 7 to 6, whatever it looks like that day, it is harder to work a full day and then try and focus on your business at night because your willpower doesn't always work. Your brain needs a break. I feel like when you're forcing yourself to do the work on your business, it's really the last thing you want to do. And so if you show up, it's not going to be a good showing, honestly. And this business is about playing the long game. So I think if you set out thinking, your post or your first conversation is going to make a sale that day, or the phone call you have or the 3-way you have will bring in a sale, maybe it will, and that's awesome, but maybe it won't. And those outcomes are both okay because you showed up and you made a decision to take that action, and the long-term effect will ultimately and eventually be a sale. And I want to share a quick story because I actually had a customer buy from me last month after 5 years of sprinkling on her. And I asked her what made her finally buy. And what she said to me was, I decided it was time for me. So in those 5 years, I could have, and probably did, I know I did, have all these stories in my head about why she wasn't buying from me or why she was kind of blowing me off. And it had nothing to do with me at all. It was just a story of mine that I had created because of how she was responding to me or not responding to me. So it just goes to show that we do make up a lot of stories. I think we really get up in our heads a lot very easily because we are putting ourselves out there to be vulnerable, but showing up means showing up for others, means showing up for yourself. It means building trust with others and building trust with yourself, more importantly. I know our goals are to have successful businesses, to be able to help others, make some money, have some fun, learn about ourselves along the way. I mean, I know I've learned so much, and this business is truly 90% personal development, 10% skill. We just have to get out of our own way and build that consistency with repetition. And it does just begin with changing our stories and the way that we're approaching them. I just say, remember your why and rewrite it, change it. It's going to change over the years. We know this business is not easy, but it is so worth it. That's why we're all here. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you were able to get any kind of tidbit of information. I can see Jamie's face like front and center when I went up. Let me know if you have any questions, any takeaways. I would love to hear. But it is a matter of just getting out of our own way most times. So you guys are amazing. Thank you for letting me share. And that's a wrap. Bye.
Thank you.